No, he don't want to go live yet because he was saying something about music. I guess,
Let me just set it up though.
Because there's no more music.
The whole world's gonna be watching.
He's not playing music yet?
No, 5 minutes.
Yeah, watch out.
I don't want the first year.
Oh, just, we're on live. Just so. No, just in case you don't want anybody to hear what you're talking about.
I'll let rip.
Just want to warn you.
I don't.
Can I get that?
Yeah, I can do the I didn't even get a seat, so.
There we go. He wants to see this
I
back
might have
table.
to. I didn't get a seat, so I could just stand right here behind the CO, just like this. Just right here. Then you'll see. You'll see something. I'll just give him my key while we're sitting down. Your key is going to be right here. After the search, then you guys will sit down right here. Right here. After this certificate is presented to the retiree's wife and children, let's go back to the seat. So after they get the search.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your MC for the evening, Master Gunner Song Vicente Silver Tower. I had a bunch of people who RSVP'd, said they were coming. As you can see by the empty seats, they didn't show up. So if you're in the back and you want to move up, come on up.
and gentlemen, please silence all electronic devices at this time, and please take your seats. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lieutenant Colonel Jeremy M. Nelson and the Marines of Personnel Administration School, Marine Corps Combat Service Support Schools, Camp Johnson, North Carolina, welcome you to the retirement ceremony in which Master Gunnery Sergeant Hector E. Vicente will retire after 28 years of honorable and faithful service to our country and to our beloved Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation delivered by Mr. Warren Gerganis and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem.
One thing, look at your brochures and next to the last page and you get an opportunity. Well, good worries about being on watch. We have an editor that follows us under watch. We got to hear about it. Almighty God, most merciful Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for the many blessings of life, the opportunity to gather here to celebrate Hector's retirement. Father, you showed us through the years that you might take the Marine out of the man out of the Marines, but you'll never take the Marines out of the man. I see it every day. Father, each one here gathered has a prayer in their heart, and you know our hearts. We give you thanks that we have able to be here and celebrate this milestone in Hector's life. We give you thanks for all things, all the many blessings of life, especially mindful of family and friends gathered here. We just pray now, Father, for smooth transitions. Be with Hector as he goes forward in life. Be with us all as we celebrate with him tonight. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Now taking his position is the retiring officer, Lieutenant Colonel Jeremy M. Nelson.
Master Gunner Sergeant Vicente, report to the commanding officer.
Sergeant Master Guard Sergeant Secretary reporting to order.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the reading of the Certificate of Retirement. United States Marine Corps, Master Gunnery Sergeant Hector E. Vicente was transferred this date from the U.S. Marine Corps to the Fleet Marine Corps Reserves after 28 years of honorable and faithful active service. Signed, D.H. Berger, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Certificate of Appreciation for service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America. Master Gunnery Sergeant Hector E. Vicente, I extend to you my personal gratitude and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation to you for your patriotic service to our country. Your bravery and dedication in our armed forces helped protect your fellow Americans during a critical moment in our history and contributed to a world of greater security and growing prosperity. Your devotion to duty, honor, and country, in keeping with the long traditions of the finest military in the world, embodied the American ideal of selfless service. Our nation owes you an incredible debt. Your commitment and the example you set will inspire future generations to serve with pride and to keep our country secure. You represent the best of our nation, and I join our fellow Americans in saluting your honorable service. I wish you happiness and success in your next chapter. Signed, Joseph R. Biden, Jr., Commander-in-Chief. Dear Master Gunnery Sergeant Vicente, the Marine Corps has been your occupation and family for years past, and I am certain the memories, interests, and the future of the Corps will remain with you forever. Many desire to obtain your accomplished goals, but few can compare to you. You have clearly demonstrated the exceptional leadership qualities and professional contributions we seek of our senior Marines. We are proud, as you must be, of your successful career. As a teacher to young Marines, a source of wise counsel, and an example of those soldierly virtues we so admire, you have made a mark on the Corps that will remain long after you have left our active ranks. There are many young Marines that you have influenced who will carry on in the same fine tradition that has always characterized the United States Marine Corps. You have my best wishes for good health and continued success in the years ahead. Semper Fidelis, signed, David H. Berger, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Dear Master Gunnery Sergeant Vicente, on the occasion of your retirement, I would like to extend my congratulations and heartfelt thanks for many years of dedicated service and selfless devotion to our country and Corps. You have made tremendous contributions and sacrifices throughout your Marine Corps career. As you prepare to enter this new chapter of your life, you can look back with immense pride and satisfaction on all you have accomplished. You have set an example of professionalism and leave a standard of excellence for all Marines who will carry on the legacy of our Corps. My wife, Stacy, joins me in wishing you continued success in the future. Semper Fidelis, Troy E. Black, 19th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. At this time, Master Gunnery Sergeant Vicente's wife, Julian, and their children, Ross and Marlena, will join me. United States Marine Corps, Certificate of Appreciation. To all who shall see these greetings. This is to certify that Ms. Julian G. Vicente has earned grateful appreciation for the faithful and devoted service rendered as a Marine Corps spouse. As the cornerstone of your family, you provided the strong foundation and solidarity needed to sustain the family during demanding and stressful times. Your unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible the lasting contributions your Marine has made to our Corps and country. We fully realize that your support and understanding were not provided without hardship and sacrifice. Your efforts and sacrifices, like his, contributed significantly to the accomplishment of the Navy and the Marine Corps mission, and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. On behalf of all Marines, sailors, and a grateful nation, please accept my sincerest thank you for caring and compassionate role that you have played as a key member of the Navy and Marine Corps family. Given this 17th day of February in the year of our Lord, 2023, signed, Jeremy M. Nelson, Lieutenant Colonel, United States Marine Corps, Commanding Officer. United States Marine Corps Certificate of Appreciation. To all those who see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Ross, Joshua, and Marlena have earned grateful appreciation for the faithful and devoted service rendered as a Marine Corps child. Your unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible the lasting contributions your father has made to our country and Corps. We fully realize that your support and understanding were not provided without hardship and sacrifice. Your efforts and sacrifices, like his, contributed significantly to the accomplishment of the Navy and the Marine Corps mission, and we're keeping in the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. On behalf of all Marines, sailors, and a grateful nation, please accept my sincerest thanks for the caring and compassionate role that you have played as a key member of the Navy and Marine Corps family. Given this 17th day of February in the year of our Lord, 2023, signed, Jeremy M. Nelson, Lieutenant Colonel, United States Marine Corps, Commanding Officer. Master Governor San Vicente will now present flowers to his wife, Julian, mother, Lorraine, and daughter, Mariana. Marlena.
Say Marley. What we say, Marley?
Lieutenant Colonel Nelson and Master Governor San Vicente will make their remarks following the presentation of Old Glory and the Watch. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of Anchors Aweigh in the Marines Hymn. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the official ceremony. Please remain seated for the passing of Old Glory and the Watch. I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I stand guard majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident. I am arrogant. I am proud. When I'm flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher. My colors, a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped. I am loved. And I am feared. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 200 years. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, Guam, Okinawa, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, in the Persian Gulf, and a score of places long forgotten by all those who were there with me. I was there. I led my soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. I followed them and watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill in Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-worn, and tired. But my Marines and sailors cheered me, and I was proud. I had been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of country that I had helped set free. It does not hurt, for I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of my own country. And when it is by those I have served in battle with, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space. I have been silent witness to all of America's finest hours. But my finest hour comes when I am torn and stripped to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle. When I fly at half-mast to honor my soldiers, my airmen, my sailors, my Marines. And when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother at the graveside of her fallen son or daughter. I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave. Dear God, long may I wave. Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C. This is to certify that the accompanying flag was flown on December 16, 2022 for Master Gunnery Sergeant Hector Vicente in honor of 28 years of dedicated and faithful service to our nation and the United States Marine Corps. From the Marines of Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C., Semper Fidelis. Signed, Lieutenant Colonel Paul W. Stacchetti, Executive Officer, Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C.
For 28 years, this Marine stood the watch. While many of us lay about our bunks at night, this Marine stood the watch. While others of us were attending schools, this Marine stood the watch. And yes, even before many of us were born, this Marine stood the watch. As our families watched the storm clouds brewing on the horizons, he stood the watch. This Marine often saw his family in need, but he knew that he must stay because he had to watch. For 28 years, this Marine stood the watch so that our fellow countrymen could sleep soundly in safety. Today we are here to say, Marine, the watch stands relieved. Relieved by those you have trained, mentored, and led. Master Gunnery Sergeant Hector Emmanuel Vicente, you stand relieved. We have the watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, the retiring officer, Lieutenant Colonel Nelson.
Sing on, all right. Okay, so originally when I wrote this speech, it was all kind of surrounded on the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. Well, look, we all know that didn't happen, okay? But, you know, Master Guns Vicente is a huge Eagles fan, born and raised in Philly. Leslie Harkness is also an Eagles fan. And there's one more Eagles fan in here this evening that we need to recognize, and that's Colonel Aldridge, everybody. Colonel Aldridge didn't even know that I knew he was an Eagles fan. But Major Lindenthal told me. I did talk to the hotel staff, okay, when I got here, and they said that they're going to have a support group later for all the Eagles fans after the reception. So please, if there's other Eagles fans in the room, I'm not a Chiefs fan, okay, or an Eagles fan, but the support group is happening if you want to go. So please check it out. Okay, friends, family, distinguished guests, and Marines, welcome. Thank you for honoring us with your presence on the occasion of Master Gunnery Sergeant Hector Vicente's retirement. A warm welcome to Hector's family and friends. Some traveled pretty far to be with us today. Welcome Julian, Hector's beautiful bride of 20 years. Their daughter Marley. Is it okay if I say Marley? As well as Ross and Joshua, welcome. We were supposed to have some grandchildren here tonight, but it was past their bedtime. But their names are Nora May and Asen. Did I get that right? Yes, sir. Hector's mother Lorraine and father-in-law, welcome. Warren, welcome. And Hector's siblings, Chris, Victoria, Valerie, and I think Virginia is on Facebook Live. Am I on Facebook Live?
You're on Facebook Live.
Okay. Julian, thank you for supporting Hector for the past 2 decades, and congratulations on this milestone. I understand there were likely sacrifices, especially early on following Marley's birth when Hector deployed to Iraq in 2007, and then the MEU the following year. I don't think anyone in this room, including Hector, takes those times for granted. Thank you for all you've done throughout his career, and thank you to Hector's family for supporting him as well. Please join me in a round of applause for Hector's wife and his entire family. Hector! Amen. It's a privilege to be your retiring officer today. I feel lucky and spoiled to be standing here, so thank you for this opportunity. Adding today to my list of firsts that Hector and I discussed a few weeks ago, I'm glad it was you, my friend. I think I speak for everyone in this room today when I say we're sad to see you go, brother. Working together those first few days last year, we quickly realized we had the French Forget in common. And also during the exact same time frame, 2006, 2007 time frame. Hector was the admin chief at 2nd Battalion 6 Marines, and I was the adjutant 3rd Battalion 6 Marines. You know, and honestly, we were probably in some of the same meetings, but we're just too old these days to remember if we were actually in some of those same meetings. You know, being stationed at a Victor unit, you know, as an adjutant admin chief, early on in one's career can really humble a person. And I think it did that for Master Guns and I both. But and I know you lost some Marines on the Iraq deployment, as we did as well at 3-6. So I'm going to tell you right now, Hector's been paying it forward ever since. Okay? He's been paying it forward ever since. A wise man once told me to keep the speech around 10 minutes. I've already pointed him out once tonight. He's over there. Ladies and gentlemen, 10 minutes, Colonel Aldridge. Here we go. Hey, I got 7 minutes left. 3 minutes in. But how do you 10 minutes, how do you capture 28 years in the Marine Corps? How do you talk about Hector Vicente in 10 minutes? Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I'm going to try. All right, 1994. From Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Paris Island, to Marine Combat Training at Camp Geiger, and PA School on beautiful Camp Johnson. Then, off to Okinawa, back to North Carolina to swing with the Marine Aircraft Wing, the 25th Marine Regiment in Massachusetts, where, I think that was Jason, where Jason Jolliker and Hector took that infamous picture when they were sergeants, and by the way, it's out here if anybody wants to check it out. They were a lot younger and better looking back then. Just kidding. Then Hector goes off to Reserve Affairs, where I heard he memorized the entire reserve manual. I don't know if that's true or not. It is. Wow, that thing's huge. Then back to North Carolina with Victor 2-6. Then he goes over to Staff and CO Academy, and this is where he realizes that he has a niche for teaching. in the classroom setting. Then to South Korea. I mean, why not? Let's just go to South Korea for a year on a company, right? Okay, yeah, South Korea. Then back to PA school, where he becomes a master instructor and instructor of the year as a gunnery sergeant, and also one of the best instructors the schoolhouse has ever seen. Then off to 8th and I in DC, back to North Carolina to serve at the Met with Rory Aldridge, third time I've recognized Colonel Aldridge this evening.
That's enough.
Okay, sorry, that's enough. And to finish where it all began, almost 3 decades ago, Personnel Administration School. 28 years just like that, in a flash. You know, I feel like I've said this a time before, and for those who are with us at the schoolhouse, that's how fast it goes when you are working in the most competitive and most rewarding MOS in the Marine Corps. And for those of you who didn't know it, 111 is the most competitive MOS in the Marine Corps. Okay, I call the next part of this speech things everyone should know about Hector Vicente. He was born to serve, specifically in the Marine Corps, and even more specifically as an 01. He once told an entry-level student, "I want to pick you up right now and burp you like a baby." He did. I'm pretty sure the Marine was falling asleep. He's a hell of a singer, but doesn't showcase it that often. I guess you could say he's shy, he's bashful, but that's probably about the only thing that he is shy and bashful about. Every once in a while he'll butt out of tune, and I'm pretty sure that he sang in a quartet while he was stationed here at one point. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. We need to see some videos of that.
Karaoke every day.
It's my karaoke partner.
Are we karaoke tonight?
Yep.
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Challenge accepted. I was going to make him sing right now, but he asked me not to do it, so we'll wait till later. Okay, next. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you don't care who takes credit for it. That's Hector Vicente to his core. He contributes, he puts out, he finishes, and pushes until the very end, and doesn't care about the recognition. Hector even accepted our invitation to be the guest speaker at the Lance Corporal Seminar graduation today, which he was at in Cammy's, and gave a hell of a speech. He didn't even hesitate on the same day as his retirement ceremony. Bottom line up front, he's truly a humble human being. Who PTs with Marines in groups or individually as a master gunnery sergeant at the schoolhouse on their twilight tour? I'll tell you who does, Hector Vicente. Every week, I would see him out there thrashing a career level course, PTing with a group of our instructors, and even taking it a step further, I would see him out there with just a one-on-one with an instructor or a staff member from PA school. Always looking to teach, coach, mentor, and counsel at a moment's notice. But it comes so naturally for Hector. It's just who he is and how he approaches interactions. A person just feels better in general after talking with him, and even after PTing with him. We can't forget about the amount of flair he had in his office. Do you guys know what I mean by flair? Okay. My God. Probably 1,000 medals from Spartan races. Farewell gifts he received, farewell plaques, frames, things that could be used as weapons. All of that memorabilia just shows how much he has been loved and adored over the years by all he comes in contact with. Hector Vicente is a staple amongst those who have served at the schoolhouse, the 01 community, and across the Marine Corps. And I almost forgot, Master Gun Sarunas just checked in last week, right? Last week. I walked in the office and I asked him if he was going to put anything on the walls. His response was, I don't think I want to put any more holes in the wall for fear of the building falling down. There got to be 1,000 holes in the wall. And it's not drywall. It's brick. All right, check it out. Hector walks with purpose and confidence. He almost has a strut about him, if you know what I mean. We've all seen it, right? Kind of reminds you of Rocky Balboa a little bit. Maybe Mark Wahlberg in the movie Invincible. Sometimes I even see John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever. Yeah. Or how about this one, Urban Cowboy? Well, you gotta be pretty old to remember that movie. It's a pure confidence strut, that's what I call it. Hector cannot be stumped. Cannot be stumped. Probably the most honest and upfront, straight shooter any of us have ever met. Next, there's false motivation and there's real motivation. Hector bleeds real motivation. It shows in everything he's done in a 28-year career, And when he came to PA school to Twilight, he didn't drop his back. He knew the schoolhouse was in need of more instructors. And after setting up his office for almost 2 months on 17 different occasions, he did just that. Hector is the reason we went from 58% of our staffing goal in the summer of 21, which is criminal. That's when I checked in. He's gotten us, or he will have gotten us to over 80% is forecasted of our staffing goal this summer when my replacement gets here. That's amazing. That's a round of applause, round of applause. The relationships he built with the monitors, getting the word out to the fleet that we need more instructors and screening those instructors, it was all truly remarkable to watch. Leaving things better than you received them. That's Hector Vicente. Okay, I call this next portion of the speech fit rep comments from my section K on Hector. Seriously, these are my actual comments. I want everybody to hear them. First fit rep. Master Gunnery Sergeant Vicente is the epitome of a senior leader. Nothing is left to chance with this Marine. Everything he does is for the betterment of the students, instructors, O1 community, and the institution. If he doesn't retire, his next stop should be our community advocate billet for the Marine Corps at MNRA. He's that good. Whatever he decides, he will be extremely successful in his endeavors. Inexhaustible. His positive energy is boundless. Both senior and junior Marines strive to match his leadership. Keep him in the Corps, he will never disappoint. Second fit rep. Peerless in the O1 community. Master Gunnery Sergeant Vicente does everything well. His example and influence are both immeasurable. Always having the instructors, the schoolhouse, and the community on the forefront of his thoughts and actions. This is the 0111 Senior Staff NCO you want by your side when you go to battle. If he changes his mind about retirement, it's not time, is it? If he changes his mind about retirement, retention is a no-brainer, and he needs to be assigned to a 3-star command. Fair winds and following seas to this remarkable Marine and his family. Thank you again for the 28 years of distinguished service to the United States Marine Corps and a grateful nation. May God continue to bless you and your family, our beloved Corps in the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce a mentor to thousands and thousands of Marines, Master Gunnery Sergeant Hector Vicente.
I try not to make a habit out of crying in front of large groups of people. And I have a feeling that that's probably going to happen tonight. So I had to ask myself, what group of people know the best about crying in front of a group of people? And it's pretty simple. I got my Cowboys handkerchief. I know they know best how to cry into something. I'm going to snap this thing up. I'm going to cry this thing up. So, if it goes down like that, this is what I'll be using. Put it right over here. And I'm not going to apologize if I spill some tears either. I don't write speeches, but I do have some, I got some bullet points here, so I'll try not to bore you. It'll be longer than 10 minutes, so I'll tell you that right now. All right, here we go. On January 31st, 1976, my mother celebrated her 18th birthday. 2 weeks later, on Valentine's Day, she lost her mother. 8 months later, she had me. 18 years old. No mother. My father's not here. I couldn't imagine being 18 years old with a child to raise. And then on top of that, she had my brother and my 3 sisters. 5 of us. And a single mother. Many of us may have the same story. But my mom beats herself up. I forgave my mom a long time ago. Boot camp was easy. I'm telling you, boot camp was easy. I had to figure it out in 3 days. I was like, oh, this is easy. Because my mom raised us real. She didn't sugarcoat nothing. The environment we were in was tough. My mom was tough. She raised 5 kids by herself. And she loved every one of us. And although the 5 of us are kind of jacked up in our own way, we ain't that jacked up, if you know what I'm saying. Because there's a lot of kids that came out of our neighborhood that didn't make it. And I like to think that we're doing pretty good. So, please, a loud, robust, thunderous round of applause for my mother. I was going to have this retirement ceremony at Swanix. Swanix is where I met my wife 20 years ago. She was standing across the room at the bar. I was sitting there, my hair slicked back. And I walked up to her and I said, "Can I buy you a drink?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I bought her a drink, and then we had a dance, and then she left. I was like, damn, I gotta go back to Swanix every weekend. And we fell in love. And she packed up her life and her kids and moved to Virginia with me. So I go to Quantico. I was a young strapping sergeant too, if you know what I'm talking about. But when we initially got married, the plan wasn't for me to stay in the Marine Corps. My wife built a salon and day spa from the ground up. And it was a good one. It was a successful one. She's amazing. She could do that stuff. Me, I gotta follow the list, right? She can create. And I told her that I was getting out. And then she got pregnant with my baby. And I just felt that I had to stay in. And I basically sold her a bill of goods, right? She married the Marine Corps, man, because I was 1,000% committed to the Marine Corps, and every decision that I made in regards to my family and anything in life was straight Marine Corps related, and she just had to pick it up and go with it. And I'm telling you, she did it. And babe, I couldn't have done it without you, and I love you, so thank you so much. Now I'm about to be out of a job, and she's gonna be like, "Dude, you gotta go get a job." I ain't trying. So I mentioned, she picked up her kids, her 2 boys, who quickly became my boys. That Cowboys thing might have to get picked up here real quick. I don't look back at life and have a lot of regrets. I take everything as, you know what, you can't do nothing about it, keep it moving. If I could go back in time, I would have been a better father to those boys. I love you both. And I wish that I would have done better. But hey, we can make up for it, and that's what counseling's for, right? And I love those babies, Joshua. You know it. I love you both. So thanks for letting me be your dad. at how beautiful she is. What's that? This kid is amazing, man. She wakes herself up every morning on time, gets herself ready for school. Straight A student, except you got a B, right? Straight A student. Varsity volleyball, varsity softball. I sit there and go, how did I get so lucky? My mom used to wake me up for school at 7. I had to be at 7:30. And I would tell her to wake me up at 7:20. I'd be sleeping in the clothes that I was going to wear to school. And I'll just get up and go. And I brush my teeth or nothing. And I'm like, how did I get so lucky with this kid? I like to think that I had a little bit to do with it, but really the credit goes to my wife. She has the best example at home on how to be a strong woman. And you are amazing. And I love you. I love you. I mentioned that my father wasn't there. I tried to rekindle a relationship with him. It didn't happen. I'm moving on with life. But when I married my wife, the Lord blessed me with a father. And my mother-in-law is not here. She has Alzheimer's. The commitment that my father has to my mother-in-law is unbelievable. I've learned how to be a man from a lot of Marines. But, Marines teach a Marine just like a Marine, right? I've learned how to be a man and a father and a husband from that man, Warren Berganis, who gave us a beautiful invocation. I love you, Daddy, and thank you for being here. So, in the neighborhood that I grew up in, we had a saying, and it was, if a group of dudes came to fight, who would you pick to go back to back with to fight your way out of that group, right? Nobody ever picked me, by the way. But I was fast, you know what I'm talking about? Nobody was catching me. If I had to pick one man to go back to back with, it'd be my brother. Stand up, Chris. I'm trying to tell you right now, I see my brother put down some big men. My brother is a Philadelphia sports legend, and I ain't, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not exaggerating. My brother got all the records for wrestling in Philly. My brother is a legend. Went to college and wrestled. He's a bad dude. But I used to beat that ass when we were kids. You know what I'm saying? But, and we text each other all the time about man shit and, working out and all. We're just like, whatever. But all that's impressive, right? What's more impressive is this man is raising his kids. And some people might say, okay, whatever, big deal. Where we came from, that just don't happen, right? This man is raising his kids, and he's doing it right, and he's setting a good example for them. I'm proud of you, bro, and I love you. And so if you see my interaction with baby girls, it's because I got 3 sisters. And my sister Virginia, who's not here tonight, was born in 1985, and I was 9. And then my twin sisters, Victoria and Valerie, were born in 1988, and I was 12, and I was the oldest. So what did that mean?
It was my dad.
You're the babysitter, bro. I love my sisters. I just love you guys. I don't know any other way to put it. They were. Sometimes I call my one sister Peeps. That's her nickname. Sometimes I accidentally call my daughter Peeps because I'll be thinking about when she was a baby. Now they got their own kids, and my mom is blessed with like 57 grandkids. And they're all good kids, except for one of them. I ain't gonna name names. I'm just playing. But no, I love my sisters to death, man. And thank you for you. Well, not. I mean, I'm saying thank you because you didn't have no choice. But thank you for teaching me how to be a dad, because I was essentially dad. We didn't have a dad. So thank you, and I love you. My cousin Julio is here with his wife Stephanie. Bro, I appreciate you coming down, man. It means the world to me. Is that all my family? I miss anybody? All right. So, Paul and Emma. My niece, she graduated from Alabama, Roll Tide, right? Yeah. And my brother-in-law, Paul, is a professor at NC State, but he's a Tar Heels fan, right? Paul, I appreciate.
You're a Cowboy.
Yeah, I know. Paul, I appreciate everything you do for everybody behind the scenes, and Emma, I appreciate you being here, baby. She was a little flower girl in our wedding. I'm proud of you.
I heard I didn't want to go down the aisle.
She didn't want to go down that aisle. No, but I'm proud of you, and I love you.
We love you.
All right. Something that Marines of today don't have the ability to do is lie about their bullshit accolades, right? Because the internet will tell the truth. But when I was growing up, or when I was early on in the Marine Corps, you didn't have the internet to like fact check. So dudes were telling all sorts of lies about, they were all state football and this and that and everything, right? So I want to get the truth out about what I've been called a liar about for way too long. So all I'm asking is, if I've ever dunked on you in a basketball game, please stand up. If I've ever dunked on you in a basketball game, I present you with Exhibit A. My man got rammed on. 1996. I was the only dude in that neighborhood to ever dunk in a game. Nobody believed me because we didn't have cell phones and internet. And my man came to see me. Mags, I appreciate you coming down, bro. And my two boys, Keith, Garrett, Higgins, and Denny, thanks for driving down from Philly to see me, man. And like I said about my brother, the same applies to you three. You're great fathers, man. And the world needs great fathers. So I appreciate you guys for being great fathers. Thank you. My boy Charlie Bundeline came down from Philly too with his wife Tracy. She's a school teacher. Charlie stole one of my girlfriends one time. Yeah, I do. I never forgot. I never forgot. But he's a good friend, and we're childhood friends, and I appreciate you coming down, bro. It means the world. I would ask, I didn't miss any friends, did I? Oh, yeah, I'm getting to you. Calm down. I'm talking about before the Marine Corps. All right, so what I would ask now is, if you are police, fire, EMS, please stand up. Stand up if you're police, fire, or EMS. Round of applause, please. The world sort of likes firefighters, but they don't like police. But I want to say thank you, and I appreciate you. Lieutenant Colonel Nelson, sir, thank you so much for doing this and for doing it your way. You have been an absolute blast to work along with. You set a wonderful climate for a command, and the schoolhouse and the Marine Corps is better off having you in it. So thank you, sir. Congratulations on your selection to school. I want to acknowledge Colonel Aldridge, sir. Thank you for attending. Sequoia, thank you for being here tonight. All my E9s in the room, both active and retired, I appreciate you coming out and showing love. All the active E9s that I invited and RSVP'd and didn't come, you're on my list. Invite me to your shit, and I'm going to RSVP, say yes, and I ain't coming. I just want to let you know that right now. So if you're watching on Facebook Live, trust that it's true. And don't come with no bull. Go, oh man, I meant to be there. Nah, dude. I want to acknowledge the lieutenant colonels in the room. Lieutenant Colonel Christy Everett. I'm going to miss some because you guys are sitting all over the place. Lieutenant Colonel Leslie Harkness is here. I have a funny story about Lieutenant Colonel Leslie Harkness. If you don't mind me sharing, it's got an F word in it. So I get to the PA school, and like Lieutenant Colonel Nelson mentioned, my first order of business is try to get us healthy. So how do we do that? Well, I think get the monitor down here, give them a tour, let them see what the schoolhouse looks like from the inside out, and try to sell them on why we need quality instructors. Do that, have a great tour, wind it up. Lieutenant Colonel Harkness is in there teaching the manpower officers course, and then she's wrapping it up. And so he's on his way out. She comes in and they finally meet. And she says, "You're fucking us." I'm like, "Thank you, man." We squared it away, though. I miss any Lieutenant Colonels. Lieutenant Colonel Mary Blair is here. Thank you, man, for being here. I think I got everybody. A couple of them that RSVP said they were coming and aren't.
We got it.
Yeah. The participants in my ceremony. Hey, PFC Doherty, come here. Come here, Doherty. And Lance Corporal, is it Vasquez? Come on up here with the master guns. No burpees. Vasquez, right? If I was wrong, you would tell me. You would be like, "Yeah, you're fine." All right. So when I decided that I wanted to retire and I was going to have a ceremony, it was very important to me that nobody that's in this ceremony is told that they have to do the ceremony. I wanted these Marines to do it. And if they didn't want to do it, no harm, no foul with me. I'll find somebody that wants to. Right? So the first thing I did is I went into a classroom and I said, "Hey, is anybody here from Philly?" And my man Darty stood up. Darty's like, "I'm from Philly, Master Gunner." I said, "Yeah, you are." But whenever someone says you're from Philly, you got to do the Philly check, right? Right. Yes. What part of Philly? Mom, you don't like this. Cottage Street. I said, "Oh shit, he's from Philly." They told me my dad was a Philadelphia police officer. I'm like, "All right, bro. Enough bragging." You want to be in my ceremony? Absolutely, Master Gunner and Sergeant. And from that day forward, every time he saw me, he was like, "Master Gunner Sergeant, I'm ready." And I appreciate you, man. And I can promise you this, you ain't never going to forget this. You're never going to forget me, and you're never going to forget this. You got anything you want to say to the people?
Yes, thank you for the honor. It's been one of the greatest honors of my life so far. You're right, I'll never forget anything like this. And good luck to you in your retirement, happy and healthy and everything. And thank you again for allowing me the opportunity.
Now, is it really Vasquez? Barone Vasquez. Vasquez. So, Vasquez wasn't supposed to be in my ceremony. I had Lance Corporal Wham Bam Sam Bam Cunningham in my ceremony. His last name was Cunningham. I was like, "Randall Cunningham's my favorite Eagle. You're in my ceremony." Right? But my staff NCOs, being good staff NCOs, inspected the Marine in his alphas, and he looked like a sea bag with lips. So, not going down like that, Master Guns. We got you a new Lance Corporal. So I pulled Vasquez out of the classroom. I said, Vasquez, it's important to me that you really want to be in my ceremony. Do you? He said, yes. I walked away and said, yeah, they told me he was doing it. So, I appreciate you being here. You got anything you want to say to the people? I'm just honored. I'm honored too, my man. Go ahead and sit. Is Corporal Inez still here? Corporal Inez here? She leave. Come here, Corporal Inez. If you're in my ceremony, just feel free to come on up because I'm calling everybody out individually. So come on, Corporal Inez. Oh, and while they're doing that, I forgot to mention First Sergeant. Thank you for doing your First Sergeant thing. Gary Brown, thank you for helping First Sergeant do his First Sergeant thing. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully, I kept it as simple as possible for you. We already know when the Master Gun's retires, you know, it's like, yeah, whatever. Sergeant Major gets popping circumstances. The Master Gun's like, hey, go find a freaking broom closet. Go find a broom closet. You can fit enough people in. Come here, Lainez. So Corporal Lainez is with the 26th MU right now. But she came to me at the MEF as a brand new PFC. And I want you to understand this because I'm not exaggerating. Within about 3.5 minutes of checking into the unit, I was like, she's the best Marine we got. She was outperforming the Marines we had there at that time. And I am not exaggerating, okay? She is phenomenal. And so I told her, Lainez, I'm putting you up for Marine in the quarter. She's like, I don't rate that. I'm like, oh, yes, you do. I'm like, I'm a Master Guns. I know better than you. You're going up for me. She didn't win, and that's okay. But you know what she did? She was fired up. She was like, oh, okay. Then they put her up for Meritorious Corporal, and she got it. And actually, the Sergeant Major who was running the board said if she would have went up for Meritorious Sergeant, she would have won too. She's that good. She's going to do whatever she wants in the Marine Corps or in life. Corporal Lainez, thank you for coming out and doing this for me. It means the world. Thank you so much. Sergeant Perry. So, Sergeant Perry came to me as a PFC at 8th and I recruited him because I had just come from the schoolhouse. So I called the instructors. I said, hey, send me your best. Sometimes when you get that, you get the worst, right? But like these Marines personally screen these Marines. And you see Perry, look how tall he is, right? He came to me as a PFC. Just floored by how professional and smart and team, total, just everything you would want in a Marine. And when you get a Marine like that, and you get a Marine like Doherty and Vasquez, you have to water that plant, man. You got to water it. Too many times we get good Marines and we don't water the plant, and they leave. I think it's safe to say that we watered this plant, right? We got him to re-enlist. Now, I felt bad when he re-enlisted because he was leaving Disneyland with his 8th and I, and he was going to the real Marine Corps, right? But he went with Captain Stanley, and he deployed on a Special Purpose MAGTF, and he was out there when that stuff went down in Afghanistan. He got to see the administrative side supporting the warfighter. And I know that you did a great job. I'm proud of you. And thank you for coming down here and being in my ceremony. It means the world to me. Thank you. So, Staff Sergeant Harold, first of all, let's give her a round of applause because she just pinned on Staff Sergeant. She was stressed out. I looked at her master brief sheet. I was like, you're fine. You're going to be selected. She's like, ah. Remember? Yes. I said, well, I understand. You're going to think that, you're going to be more stressed about it because it's your promotion. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, you're good. And she got selected. Not because of me, because of her. But she was an entry-level student when I was an instructor at PA school the first time. And now she's back as an instructor at PA school. And she's doing a great job. And, hold on, man. And, the thing about Staff Sergeant Harold is she really cares. Anytime one of her Marines screws up, she takes it personal. She even asked me in the hallway, Master Guns, I give them everything, and some of them just don't listen.
And I learned that lesson, and I just repeated back to her. Keep doing what you're doing. Because the Marines are going to get it. And the ones who are not going to listen are not going to listen. But if you stay steady and keep doing what you're doing, you're not going to see it right now, but 10 years down the line, you're going to see it. Because I'm seeing it. So keep it up, and I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Thank you. This Marine right here, he's one of those Marines where you ask him to do something, ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel Acevedo. You almost got written down in the speech. Gunnery Sergeant Canoe is one of those Marines, you ask him to do something, it gets done. You don't have to think about it. And it doesn't get done like, oh, it gets done with enthusiasm, and you're just an amazing, amazing Marine. And he selected the Mass Sergeant. He's going to get pinned on 1 March. And he's like, Master Guns, will you come read my warrant? I'm like, come on, dude. I'm tired, man. I got to put that uniform on because I'm still going to come in and do my thing with you because I appreciate you inviting me, and I appreciate you being my second. So thank you so much. Where's Master Sergeant Hubbard? He left? Oh, there you go. All right, so Master Sergeant, when you become an E9, providing, dare I say, a little bit of mentorship and leadership to Master Sergeants is really humbling. And when you have one that will listen and maybe agree or disagree and change some things based off of your conversations, that's a really good thing. And I think we need more of that in the Marine Corps, especially at the staff NCO level. Open your ears up, have an open mind, and shift left or right if someone is suggesting that you do it. And he does that. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you do. All right, so Gunny Brown is putting in an officer package, and he's going to get it. So we look forward to that. And hopefully, I gave you some lessons on some leadership that you'll apply when you become an officer. But what I like most about Gunny Brown is he's super competitive, man. You know? Super competitive. And they made the mistake when I first got there. They're like, oh, we're going to have a burpee contest. I'm like, oh, man, why are you going to have a burpee contest? Right? So they're like, we're doing as many burpees as possible every day. You just got to log it in. So I go, look, dudes are doing like 300 burpees. I'm like, no, they ain't doing real burpees. Right? So I'm like, tomorrow, we're going to do 10 burpees every minute on the minute until we can't do no more. And we're going to do them the right way. And is Gunny Bailey here? He went to the hospital that day. But Gunny Brown stuck with me for about 23 rounds. And I saw the fire in his eye, but he just knew he couldn't keep up with the old master gun. But he got me back though on the run, swim, run. Because he can swim like a fish, and I can't. But Gunny, I appreciate you, and thank you for being the narrator for my ceremony. I got all the ceremony participants. All right, PA school staff, please stand up. I have an affinity for the schoolhouse. Obviously, I've been there twice. And you don't understand the impact of the instructors at the schoolhouse until you become one. So a lot of times in our community, what happens is you get some Marines that may be jacked up or whatever, or they don't know their job or whatever. And the first thing you say is, man, the schoolhouse is all jacked up. I'm here to tell you it's not. Every single day, these Marines put in hours trying to take care of these Marines, trying to teach these Marines to the best of their ability. I see it every day. And I want to thank you for your commitment. And I want to thank you for your professionalism. And I would ask that we all give a round of applause to our PA school staff. I'm going to acknowledge you later. I want to acknowledge Captain Jackie Stanley. She teaches the BMOP course, and she puts so much into it. She takes such pride in teaching those young officers, and we couldn't ask for a better person to be in that job, so thank you, man. And Master Guardian Joe Sarunas, have fun, bro. You're going to do great. You're going to do great things, man. I'm excited to have you and damn, I forgot his name. Come on, Tego. Come on, man, I'm old. I'm excited to have you and Tego on board and to take the schoolhouse to the next level. So thank you both for showing up tonight. So I got about 45 more minutes to go. So as I go, basically I'm just going to go through my career and thank some people. Most of them are on this list because they actually showed up. If you RSVP and didn't show up and you're on this list, I ain't mentioning you. So, but there's going to be, there may be some people that there's just too many of you to thank. But I want to tell you all, every single one of you have impacted me in one way or the other. Every single one of you. You wouldn't be here tonight if you didn't. So, if I miss you, I'm sorry, but thank you. So I'm going to start out with Okinawa, Comp Squadron 18. For a year, Leo Colon babysat PFC Vicente. He was my first roommate. He was the voice of reason on everything because I was out of control, right? But my man Leo, we were roommates, and it just goes to show you the amazing thing about the Marine Corps is you can spend 8 to 9 months with a person, not talk to them for 25, 26 years, see them at your retirement, and it's like there was no time in between. Brother, I appreciate you coming down from Massachusetts, man, and I love you. Thank you. So then from there, I went to HMH 461, where I had the opportunity to serve alongside Marlon Mullins. Marlon, thank you so much for being here. It means the world to me. Traveled all the way out from California. We lived in a trailer together. One of my best friends in the world. The epitome. He's a better friend than I am. The epitome of real friendship. And so thank you so much for being here tonight. It means the world to me. So, a lot of you don't know this, but I wasn't always this swole. My boy Jason Banks put me on the gym. Where you at, Jason? My boy Jason Banks put me on the gym. Now, Jason Banks got out of the Marine Corps, went on to play D1 football, a defensive tackle. So, if you know anything about football, you already know, if the dude played defensive tackle, he was lifting some weight. Right? We would go in and do bench, and he would warm up with like 225, and I'm knocking out 95. But the thing about Jason that I will always appreciate and respect and admire is that he never made fun of me. He never made fun of me. We just went in there and we put in hard work. And it was hard work, man. He put me through some grinding workouts. But I will cherish those times for as long as I live, man. I love you. Thank you for coming from Dalton, right? Thank you for coming from Chicago to be here tonight. And so my first 4 years, I was getting out. I was like, man, I'm going back to Philly. And there was a man that impacted my life. And he's the reason why I'm here today. I'm telling you, it's not some made-up stuff. He is the sole reason why Master Gunnery Sergeant Vicente is here today. His name is Pete Tornice. He was my perso. And I was adamant that I was getting out. And I still remember these words. He said, you're not getting out. I said, sir, I'm getting out. He goes, you got no plan. I said, sir, I'm getting out. He goes, you need the Marine Corps more than the Marine Corps needs you. You're re-enlisted. So I said, well, I'm only re-enlisted if they can get me closer to Philly. So I put in the package. Now, the package goes through. You had to compete for a boat space. I got a boat space, and then I did some really dumb shit. I'm I'm serious. I did some stuff that in today's Marine Corps, you are not re-enlisting. You're not. I'm not going to put the whole thing out there, but just know that the acronym is DUI. Right? That is not a proud moment in my life. It's not. And the hardest thing about that was having to go into work and tell him that I did that. And he said, man, I'm disappointed. That's all he said. Man, I'm disappointed. And then he went in and he talked to the man, the CEO. And they re-enlisted me. Thank you, Pete.
Thank you.
You took a chance on a kid. You took a chance. You saw something in a kid. And I'm not beating my own chest, but I've impacted a whole lot of Marines. And you're the reason for that. So thank you so much. So I re-enlisted and I got my orders closer to Philly, Worcester, Massachusetts, which my dumb ass thought was Maryland. And I checked in to my sergeant, Eric Allen, and he was pissed at me because he says I checked in late. I was supposed to be there like a week earlier or something, which I still don't think is true. And you know, as the new guy at the unit, you sort of want to get in with everybody, and you want to fit in, and you want to figure out what's going on or whatever. And in the Northeast, these people like hockey, right? So like my first week there, they're all out playing roller hockey. And I'm like, well, I want to play too because I want to be part of the team, but I can't skate. So they were like, all right, well, you can be goalie. So I suited up. Every ball got past me. And I'll never forget Eric looking at me and going, how can you be so bad? But there are some people in this world that you just form a kinship with right from the jump, and that was Eric. Eric taught me how to balance a checkbook. He goes, how can you be so stupid? You don't know how to balance a checkbook. And he taught me. But Eric he was the best man at my wedding. He's a dear friend, and I love you to death, and I thank you for being down here, man. Thank you to all the Marines from 25th Marines, some of you that traveled down from Massachusetts, Joe Nyberger, Ethan Mishad, John Roach, Scott Paquette, and then I met Jason Jolliker. And that was my Arnold Schwarzenegger workout buddy. And we got after it. And we were some motivated sergeants. And I think what I'm most proud about when it comes to myself and Jason is we were on I&I when 9/11 happened. And the world changed, as we all know. And he got married like a week later. And then the regiment and 25th Marine 225 got mobilized. And as sergeants, we mobilized a battalion of Marines and a regiment of Marines. He did the orders and I did the diaries. And it was a lot of work. But we set the wheels in motion for what's going on right now when it comes to mobilization. So, brother, it was a pleasure working with you, man. I got selected as staff sergeant off of I&I, and I went to Manpower and Reserve Affairs. We're going to talk about that. Worst 3 years of my life. Don't recommend it for any Marine. Any newly promoted staff sergeant, avoid the March Center at all costs. And I'm not joking, because you're going to be behind when it comes to leading Marines. You're going to be behind when it comes to your job. Avoid it. Now, some of you are going to get stuck with it, but I'm saying avoid it. What are they going to do to me? Then from there, and the other thing is, I was at MNRA from 2003 to 2006, so I was missing the war. And Marines were deploying, and I was missing it. But I got a chance to go, because my next unit was 2nd Battalion, 6th Marines. And that is where I learned how to really be a staff NCO. That's where I learned the real importance of what we do as administrators, because you are supporting the warfighter. And I'm here to tell you, me and my team did it well. We did it well. And so I want to acknowledge my Marines who deployed to Iraq with me: Mike Packard, Jonathan Anderson, Chris Keipel, Chris Powell deployed on the mule with me. I appreciate you guys for coming out, and I appreciate you guys for being real easy to work with, except for Keipel. Keipel was real hard to work with, but he's here, and I love you, brother. I have to acknowledge my adjutants. They weren't able to be here, but they didn't RSVP, so I'll mention them. Now Major Andrew Holmes came to me as a second lieutenant. Had the opportunity to train him up, so that's really exciting for me, because staff NCOs train young officers, whether you know that. And Major Jeremiah Davis retired. I want to mention my battalion XO, Lieutenant Colonel George Benson, retired. He couldn't be here tonight. He's sick, legit.
I'll give you shit tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Please do, Tim. Yeah. That man made a tremendous impact on me. He showed me how to be calm in combat and how to do the job and do it well. And his leadership was immense on me, and I've always carried it forward. And then Sergeant Major Will Fry, who was the battalion sergeant major, for only a couple months while I was there, but what I saw from him was how you step into a battalion and get staff NCOs to gel. And he did that at the sergeant major position, so I always appreciate him for that. Then I went over to the Staff NCO Academy. I didn't think that I had what it took to be an instructor at the Staff NCO Academy. And then I got there and I saw the dudes that were teaching. I was like, ooh, really? Okay. But there was one Marine that stood out, and her name was Staff Sergeant Kendra Kane at the time. And I thought to myself, okay, she's good. And so it just so happened that the Staff NCOIC at the time got fired. And it was like 4 months into my tour. And the sergeant major's like, Gunny Vicente, you're in charge, and Kane is your chief. And I'm like, okay. How's that work? But we got some good Marines in, some really good instructors, and Kendra, you were a great teammate. You were really, really phenomenal. And I am so proud of those 3 years at the academy, because there's literally not a week that goes by that I don't run into a student that tells me they had the time of their life at Sergeant's Course, and what we did there I think was really good. So thank you for being a good teammate, Kendra, and for carrying me. Tim Weber, thank you for... What I learned the most from Tim was you're going to make decisions and people ain't going to like it. But he's going to do it for the best of the institution and the organization and not an individual. And I always appreciated that, Tim, and I always appreciated the candid conversations that you had with me and for allowing me to be entrusted in me to run that deck. So thank you, Tim, so much for being here tonight. And to all the students, if any of you are here that I taught at Sergeant's Course, you can rest assured, anytime I got out there to teach, I put everything I had into it. And so, thank you for being here tonight. And then I went from the Staff Academy to Camp Mucha. That's where I met Chino Oleva, retired sergeant major. I checked in. I told him we're up to jump. Look, I'm about to be away from my family for a year. It's going to be ugly, man. I'm going to be depressed. The man checked on me every day. He would make me go on MWR trips. I wouldn't want to go. He'd be like, come on, we're going. He got me doing all types of crazy stuff. But his leadership is infectious, and his friendship is even better. And he's kind of funny too. He doesn't, like sneaky funny stuff. Like we had a staff sergeant who failed the PFT at the academy, and Chino was like, you should have talked to Gunny Vicente about that. And she comes to me, and I'm all pissed because she failed the PFT. And she looks at me and she goes, I just got PTSD for running the PFT. And I'm like, it's 3 miles. I got PTSD from running PFTs, 3 miles. So I was like, you belong to me now. And then she passed the PFT. But, Chino, you're a great friend. Still check on me all the time. You're a better friend than I am. I gotta get better at that. That's maybe I'll learn that after I retire, be a better friend. So then from Camp Woodchuck, I went to PA school. Master Gunnery Sergeant Mark Fry was the senior instructor at the time, and the chevrons that I wear on my camis belong to Master Gunnery Sergeant Mark Fry. And I don't feel like I ever lived up to his legacy. He was a true mentor to me and a friend, and I wish he could have been here tonight, but he's in Iowa, probably hunting. And my boss there was Chief Warrant Officer Scott Easton, retired. I got there in September, and then like in October, Scott comes to me and goes, hey, I'm coming to evaluate you. And I took that shit real personal. I actually had his first eval he ever did on me. Right there. My first eval as a PA school instructor, out of a possible 100 points, my man gave me 99. So I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, well, where did he take the point off at? Because I'm trying to get better. And so I do the math, and I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Facilitation techniques. 25 points out of a possible 26 points. And his corrective feedback was, motivated class with energetic instructors. Consider those techniques that monitor activity progress, a check in the box, type recognition for big picture. I have no idea what that means. I have no idea. But Scott let me do things my way too. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate your friendship. So thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
First Sergeant Deborah Trower. So when I was at the schoolhouse, they made me the staff NCOIC of entry and career level as a gunnery sergeant. A lot of first sergeants would run that gunnery sergeant over. Deborah treated me like a peer from day one. She has the purest heart. She's the purest leader I've ever met. And she's a phenomenal person. So Deborah, thank you for being you. One time she had a Marine in her office. She's like, Gunny, I need you to be a witness while I read this Marine's rights. And he started getting all froggy. And I started taking my blouse off. And she's like, Gunny, you can't do that. Remember that? I'm about to fight that dude. And Colonel Aldridge was our CO, and that's the first time that I worked with Colonel Aldridge. And sir, I didn't realize it then, but I realized it when I came back to the MEF as a Master Gunnery Sergeant. What you were doing at the schoolhouse and how you were trying to get the schoolhouse relevant, and how you were trying to get staff NCOs to understand the bigger picture than what it is they do at their level, and what your expectations were of Master Guns. And I always carried those words forward, and I appreciate you, sir, so thank you. Master Gunnery Sergeant Juan Ortegon, Master Gunnery Sergeant Hector Vicente, Master Sergeant Jeff Ward, Master Sergeant James Hill, retired, not here tonight. Back to back to back to back MCC Triple S Instructors of the Year. Hoorah. And the schoolhouse produces Master Gunnery Sergeants. Master Gunnery Sergeant Decoleta was a schoolhouse instructor. Master Gunnery Sergeant Ortegon, myself, a couple others at RSVP didn't show up, so they don't get mentioned. But all the instructors that I worked with, I'm telling you, I had a blast for those 3 years. And if you were a former instructor, you probably know that the impact that you made while you were at the schoolhouse. So thank you very much. And all the students that I taught or had the opportunity to impact, many of them here today, it wasn't fake motivation. It was real. I love entry-level Marines. I love Lance Corporals. I love PFCs because they're like, they want to learn, you know? And so I took that serious. And some of them, a lot of my Marines have gone on to do great things. I got my scribe in the back, Benjamin Clark. My man graduated from Columbia. He told me PA school was harder though. Ben was my scribe too. So thank you everyone from PA school the first go around. 8th and I went to 8th and I left my family here, so I was at 8th and I by myself. Those Marines became my family, and I love those Marines. We built that Conad, that S1 up, and we were really good. And we had good leadership. Lieutenant Colonel Mary Blair, Major Dale Chung, Ruben Cahardy, Guard Sergeant Lecco Hansen. And the Marines that we got that came in, they were phenomenal. We watered the plants, and we just did great things. And so I appreciate all of my Marines from 8th and I so much. I appreciate all the adjutants I had at 8th and I, manpower officers at 8th and I. You guys let me be me. And sometimes that's questionable. But I appreciate you. And I had the opportunity while I was at 8th and I to march on a marching staff, and that's a grind. You're practicing 3 to 4 hours a day. Retired Major Eric Roby was my parade commander for the first 2 years, and he made it so easy. A true professional and a true friend. Captain Caroline Locksmith, Chief One Officer Rich Woodall, Gunner James Finney, Captain Brian Hart, Master Sergeant Selwyn Reed, First Sergeant Clement, Major Logan Geiger. We just had so much fun every day just practicing and getting out there and then performing for thousands of people. And it's a grind, and I couldn't have asked for a better crew of people to do that with. So thank you all for being who you are. And I want to mention Gunner Finney. When I think about, if you look outside, there's a picture of me saluting Gunner Finney. I was his first salute. He's a gunner. He's not a warrant officer like, some people like to be called gunner. He's a gunner. He's an 03. And he had an 01 salute him. That's just friendship and mentorship, and that's recognizing each other. But I want to tell you that in my mind, Gunner Finney is the most phenomenal Marine I've ever met. The most well-rounded Marine I've ever met. Top to bottom. He's got it in spades. And I'm honored to call you a friend, brother. Thank you.
Right.
All the staff NCOs and officers at the barracks, you were the best of the best. I enjoyed it so much. Giselle, I see you. My nosy neighbor. Thank you for coming out tonight. And then from there I went to 2MEF. That's where I got to babysit Lieutenant Colonel Jose Acevedo. No, I'm just kidding. But I got to work alongside Lieutenant Jose Acevedo. And I had a blast with you, sir. It was so much fun. Chris Baker, are you here? Yes. Chris, you carried me, man. Especially during COVID. You taught me so much. He's a ball of knowledge, man, and he knows so much, and I appreciate you for teaching me a whole hell of a lot. What the hell was I saying? Oh, my Navy team, I appreciate you guys. I learned so much about what the Navy actually does when it comes to the manpower side of things. I appreciate you guys. Colonel Aldridge, again, sir. So working with you at the schoolhouse, you're the CO. Working with you as an ACS, now I understand the climate that you set in that environment where you have a small group of Marines, sir. And you're so much fun to work with, and you just have so much knowledge, and you love to pass it on is what I really appreciate. That's why I love bringing the Marines over from the school and just having you talk to them. You're a legend, sir, and thank you for being here tonight. Dark Sergeant Dudley, brother, I'm proud of you. You went through some stuff, right?
Yeah.
But you got selected, man. I told you the Marine Corps would right its wrong, so congratulations, man. And thanks for flying out here from Arizona, San Diego, where you at? San Diego.
They can pay, that's on ticket.
That's right. And Major Lindenthal, man. Major Lindenthal was my last re-enlisting officer. And that was on purpose, because she's one of the best officers I've ever worked with. And I want the best to re-enlist me for my last one. And so I asked Major Lindenthal to do it. And what I love the most about Major Lindenthal, she's always calling me out on my shit. Like, she's like, yeah, you're full of shit. But she's so easy. She makes everything easy. So thank you, man, for being who you are. And I meant to tell Colonel Aldridge's story. We're out in, where the hell were we? It was July. We're in a barracks doing, was it MEFX? I can't remember. And I just don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. I'm pissed. I walk in, I'm grumpy. The Marines looking at me like, oh, here comes Master Guy. He's grumpy. First day, right? And then Colonel Aldridge comes in. He's like, I'm all in. Let's do it. I love this stuff. I'm like, well, dang, I got to get it together here. And that's real, right? That's the example that he set. So, sir, thanks for checking. And I'm going to close it out here. I want to thank the Marine Corps for giving me everything that I have. Literally. I told my mom yesterday, I just know I was born to be a Marine. And it worked out. And now I got a house, a wife, kid, dog, grandkids, car. I'm doing all right. But I want to leave just a couple little nuggets out here for the O1s in the room, whether it be manpower officer or, go ahead, baby, have at it. Whether it be manpower officer or admin clerk or whatever, the O1s in the room, this is what I want to tell you. Don't ever let anybody minimize what you do. Don't ever let anybody minimize what you do. And I'm here to tell you, if you find yourself in an infantry battalion, they're going to try you. Right? They are going to try you. They're going to try you. Don't be weak. Don't be weak. But don't suck neither. Right? Because if you suck, you make it worse for the rest of us. Right? But I'm here to tell you, I got tried at the infantry battalion. I had this gunny. He was jacked. Yoked up. And I was like, hey, dog, you got to submit your field roster, man. And he just wouldn't submit his field roster. So I told my boss, hey, they're not submitting their field roster. So he told the company commander. So the company commander went to the gunny. Hey, dog, what's going on with the field roster? So the gunny comes into my office, beats the door down, and he's like threatening me, right? And I just looked him in the eye. I said, gunny, I already know you can beat my ass. You could beat my ass today. You could beat my ass tomorrow. You could beat my ass over the weekend. But I'm getting my field roster. And he couldn't do nothing but laugh. He was like, the same thing, I like you. I was like, good, that's the point, because I want you to beat my ass. But the point that I'm making with that story, is, for some reason, people think they could like push around O1s. Don't let nobody push you around.
Yes.
But know what you're doing. Know what you're talking about. Reference orders if you need to. But more importantly, and I see this going away and I don't like it, help. We got a lot of O1s out there that don't want to help. That's what you do. So even if you don't have what they need or you can't do it at that time, you should make that Marine walk away and feel like you still helped them. So do that. Don't make them feel like they're a burden to you. They're not. And don't call them customers. They're not customers. They're Marines. Every Marine that has a problem is a Marine that has a problem. It's a Marine that's potentially going to go fight, and they're thinking about a damn admin problem that you're not taking care of. So think about that. Every time a Marine comes to you, they're not a burden. They're not a customer. They're Marines. So just do that what you may. And then I want to say, especially if you're listening on Facebook Live, Lance Corporals and below, it's pretty easy, man. Take an active interest in your unit and what they do. Try to learn everything about it. Try to learn your jobs to the best of your ability. Stay away from the people that are doing bullshit. Hang around with good people, and you're going to do fine. NCOs, lead. Don't be afraid to lead. Don't be fake about it neither, though. If you can't, get out of the way and let somebody who knows how to do it, do it. Right? Staff NCOs, train young officers. Be staff NCOs. Where's Staff Sergeant Brown now? Come here, Staff Sergeant Brown. He thought I forgot about him. He thought I forgot about him when I did that. He thought I forgot about him when I did that. I didn't forget about him. Because Staff Sergeant Brown is an example of, you hear a lot of staff sergeants say, oh, I'm just a staff sergeant. Bullshit. I am a staff NCO. And that's what this Marine does. He leads as a staff NCO. He is our MAT staff NCOIC. What MAT stands for is Marines Awaiting Training. Sometimes we have upwards of 175 Marines waiting training. You put some Marines in that billet, and they're just going to let those Marines sleep. Not this staff NCO. He's going to take every opportunity he can to make those Marines better. And today, he graduated a Lance Corporal seminar. Because instead of having those Marines sitting around, he's like, you know what? We can educate them, we can get them spun up on some things, and we can get them better before they even get to the fleet. That's what a staff NCO does. All right, so I'm going to wrap this thing up. And I didn't really cry that much. So I wasted $12 on that cover. I just wanted to burn it. But I'll say this, ladies and gentlemen. As you entered this room, you should have noticed that before us tonight stands an empty chair and a single lone table, draped in black, signifying our fallen comrades who are not with us this evening because they've given the full measure of devotion to our country and to our beloved Corps. The single lighted candle reminds us of the flame of eternal life and that the memory of our fallen comrades will be with us always. The Purple Heart Medal displayed to reflect the shedding of blood and the ebb of life in battle. The identification tags, blank, yet they could bear the names of any of us here this evening. The dinner setting, inverted. They break bread with us in spirit only. Never forget, we are Marines, we fight. And when I joined the Marine Corps in 1994, it was a peacetime Marine Corps. And then on 9/11/2001, everything changed. And we've lost a lot of Marines between then and now. And as recently as August 27th, 2021, we lost 11 Marines in Afghanistan, a Navy corpsman and a soldier. We fought for 20 years. Today, I retired from the Marine Corps. Big deal. Today, there is a family somewhere who lost a son or a daughter in combat, and they wish that they were home, and they're not. So all I ask from every one of you is every day when you wake up and you don't want to do it, or life is too tough, or you're tired, think about those who came before us who would love to do it and can't. Semper Fidelis.